Hello, everybody. Welcome to your weekly celebrity reading. This week it is Colin Farrell. Now, as I do with all my celebrity readings, they're based on your request. So if you're a subscriber, feel free to drop a celebrity you want me to read in the comments. Now, Colin Farrell. So, what I do with all my readings, okay, I do a brief overview of their birth chart. Colin Farrell, born May 31st, which makes him a Gemini, okay? His rising is Capricorn, all right? So we love that. I love that he's a Gemini. I had no idea he was a Gemini, but his moon is in Cancer. I wanted to talk about that because that is amazing. I love his moon in Cancer. Makes him very intuitive, makes him really psychic, makes him so maternal, caring, loving, right? It has that sensitive side, but also his. I love the fact that his Jupiter is so close to his sun. Okay, Gemini. All right, in his fifth house, and the fifth house represents, the pleasures of life, right? It's love. Okay, creativity. It's family, children. So he has a lot of activity there. But listen, he also has his midheaven in Scorpio, okay? So that's really interesting. Midheaven is kind of like the big picture, right? It's pretty much linked to our career as well. A Scorpio midheaven is, really knowing what you want, going for it, very, investigate, researchy, right? They make really good reporters, but they also make really good actors too. Okay, he can get into character really, really well. That makes him a great, great actor. Also, the fact that his rising is Capricorn, he does prioritize work a lot. Okay, over a lot of other things in his life. All right, so that's just a very, very brief overview. Also, with his Scorpio midheaven makes him a little bit more intuitive too. So he's a very, very intuitive person, and I really love that. Now, when we look at his chart with him being a Gemini and Capricorn rising, we know that Jupiter has gone back into Pisces for a little bit. So we'll see a lot of activity around his career because that's his 10th house, okay? A lot of activity around his career, which is really great. But moving forward up until May 2023, he is going to have a lot of activity around his home. All right, his domestic life. He may find a partner. He may move. He may, there's something around there, and it could be a friend that introduces him to someone. This is because Jupiter in Aries will be, for Gemini, after December, it will be in his 11th house, okay? And that's his friends and his network, also his hopes and dreams. One other thing I'm going to point out is because of these eclipses that are coming up, or the one that's coming up in Taurus is a full moon, total lunar eclipse in Taurus, that affects his fifth house again. Okay, so we may see some activity there. All right, we may see some activity around love, around things that even family. All right, he may have his mind on that, especially because with him being a Gemini, that affects his 12th house. All right, so that's your subconscious. That's going deep. That's going through the past. That's really just going going deep. We'll leave it at that because I don't like to go too much into their birth charts. We're going to get to the reading, see what's going on for Colin Farrell, pick up his energies of the moment. Again, this is a subscriber request, not only as a subscriber, he was requested many, many times. So let's see what's going on for Colin Farrell. Now, I do a traditional Celtic cross spread. It is what my clients prefer. If you want to book a private reading with me, you know where to find me. Secondly, I do a reading for every sign, weekly reading and a monthly reading, so be sure to check those out. Thirdly, you will see that my dog is on the bed sheet. You do not want to see me wake her up. She does not like to be woken up when she's sleeping, so that gives us very little table space here. But I'll hold the cards up one by one, okay? Lastly, I don't Google anyone that I read. Obviously, I know who Colin Farrell is, and I've seen a lot of his movies, but I don't Google anyone because A, you don't want to be biased in your readings. I want this to be a cold reading. Secondly, it's just more fun for me too, all right? Not to know what's going on in their life. And then, a lot of people leave comments and like, oh yeah, well, this is happening and this is happening. And I love that. I love that interaction and synergy. So let's go ahead and get started. It looks like he has been working really hard and to the point of exhaustion, okay? He's in a place where it's just like, oof, gosh. And I already feel that coming, that the eclipse that's happening in 3 days, November 8th, okay? I already feel that coming for him, and he is going to go within. So he did get the 8 of Pentacles. This is clearly showing he has been working really, really, really hard. Okay, this is a lot of talent here. You can see the man here has removed himself from the village to just be laser focused on these pentacles. Just boom, 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 right? Because what does that do? Look at that castle on the back. That's all his. All right. So this is really just kind of like knowing it's almost like a legacy, all right? Approaching your legacy, really figuring out, what do I want to be known for? What do I want to leave behind? But also working on a lot of movies and projects for Colin in general. That could be something that he's just been so focused on to the point where he may be not putting more attention in other areas. One reason why I say that, he, based on his chart, especially his Scorpio midheaven, he private person, right? Private person. But looking at his spread here, there's no cups, okay? And cups represent emotions, right? And so that's one thing that I'd be concerned about. But so he has been working hard. Here's more affirmation. He's been working hard. Look at that. He pulled the 9 of Wands, okay, in the heart of his spread. And so, if you're a subscriber, this is the reference that I make. And it's, think about 4th grade math class. Your math teacher had that poster of the cat hanging from the tree. Don't give up, hang in there. That's what this is. This is all about resilience, right? So he pulled that in the heart of his spread. He's going through a lot. He's been working a lot. It almost looks like, this man has gone through battle. You see the gauze around him. But the good news is that, 10 is the completion of the suit, so he's so close. So that's why I say hang in there. You're so close to the end of enduring a lot of stress and just having gone through challenges. But hey, resilience, right? You can take on more. You can. Should you? Is the question. But he's standing in front of the Wands. He's like, bring it on, bring it on. I can keep going. But listen. He did get the 2 of Swords, okay? He got the 2 of Swords in his challenge area. There is something where, one, he really, really needs to, there's something going on in his head where he needs to make some sort of decision. I'm getting it's more of like a personal, moment of clarity, kind of like a spiritual decision, right? There's something that he's hiding from, something that he's not really, there's a disconnect and he's not really being truthful to himself, okay? And so this is something that he might need to do to move forward in, a better way. He really needs to just trust his instincts. Now, I already said he's a very intuitive person, okay? And so he can do it. He knows he can. It's just when you wear that blindfold, right? It's almost like you don't want to face this truth. You don't want to face those realities. And you don't want to make these decisions. They're pretty hard. They're really emotional. You see all the water here. Water representing emotion, just this emotional place. So if he was here, if I was doing a reading for him in person, I'd say, listen, come on. let's open up. Let's see what that is. Okay, let's see what that truth is. He's gonna find it, especially with, again, that eclipse is going to be really powerful. And when I say powerful, it's basically a full moon times 1,000. Okay, so think of Clark Kent turning into Superman. That's how powerful this eclipse is, going into his 12th house and his 5th house. Okay, so we'll see a lot of that, and I think it really does have to do with I mean, the message that's coming through is really like the lack of the cups, the lack of emotions, the lack of relationship, family, things like that. Now, he did get the Nine of Swords as well. Okay, so he's definitely in his head. And you can see these swords are stacked up, okay, over this poor man. Now, you can see his hands over his face. Is he grieving? Did he lose something? Did someone do something bad to him? Did he do something bad to someone else? Is there something that is not fulfilling him? I mean, those are all, questions that Colin should be asking himself. What is keeping him up at night? What is the thing that's stressing him out? What is the thing that's really taking up that headspace that, really needs to, again, face some of these truths to move forward? Okay, that's what's really going to help. All right, now here's the thing. You can see that there is a comforter here, and so in a way there is a little bit of comfort of just being in this space, not wanting to face the truth. But on the flip side, look at all the roses, look at all the beautiful astrological symbols. There's comfort, and he should know that there's comfort moving forward as well. I talk about energy a lot in my readings for the signs, and I'm gonna say it here too. Energy, everything's made of energy. Okay, that's not even my opinion. That's Albert Einstein. That's Nikola Tesla. That's any physics book you open. Everything is made of energy, even us, down to the molecular level. Now, when you have those low vibrations, right, you're not really in a good place. You have to vibrate at a higher frequency. All right, and so what he can do is I suggest he just not take these worries and doubts and anything that's affecting him mentally to bed at night. All right, he needs to when in these movies, when you see that people, they always have those positive affirmations when they go to bed, like, tomorrow's going to be amazing, I'm great. Well, they do that because it actually works. And there's, our brain enters a space called theta mode. And, I encourage you to Google it, because I don't want to spend too much time on that aspect. But just know that he's definitely going through it. All right? Definitely going through it. But there is a huge light at the end of the tunnel. But before we get there, look, he got another 2. All right? So, choices. All right? So not only did he get the 2 of Swords in his challenge area, this is up here. This is, Pentacles. All right? There's a lot of imbalance in his life. All right? And I think that that's what he needs to focus on. You can see that there's 2 Pentacles here, bound in the sign of infinity. All right? So he really does have to make some sort of decision. And here's the thing. He knows it. All right? Based on his birth chart, he knows it. He knows that he has to move forward with this, decision that's, I don't want to use the word haunting him, but, it's just something that's there. And I feel that, again, with this eclipse happening in his 12th house, with him as a Gemini, there is going to be, he's going to go deep, okay? And he's going to be able to make that decision, and he's going to be able to move forward, because, even though he's doing a great job juggling, because the Pentacles are bound in the sign of infinity, he can be doing this for the rest of his life, right? Do you want to, though? That's the question. Do you want to juggle these, the things that you're juggling right now? And it can be many things. It doesn't even have to be 2 things. It can be many things, but it really is affecting his his everything up here, mentally. That is the challenge. It is a decision he really needs to make. He needs to make a decision. Here we go. Future, he did get the Queen of Pentacles. So this is really great. And this is why I have full faith in him. being able to pull through this. These eclipses are really powerful, all right? They're very powerful, so I'm not surprised that, you know, with a lot of these readings that I've been doing, that challenges have been coming up because they're game changers, okay? Queen of Pentacles is great, all right? And this is in his future. As you can see, she is the richest queen, all right? And so this is someone, I always say this is, you know, this is a card that looks like it's been torn out of the pages of a fairy tale. What is a fairy tale? It's world building, all right? Now, in the future, he's going to start thinking about the world that he wants to build for himself. I mean, he will have the resources to do it, okay? The Pentacle, again, money and wealth, right? He's coming into that, which is really great. But remember that moon in Cancer and that maternal side. It's he wants to take care of other people too now. All right. So listen, this is really great. He really needs to. He is going to start thinking about the world he needs to build, and he's going to have the resources to do it. And he did get the Hangman, so you know that's a lot of clarity. That's a lot of new perspective. We are going to see a new Colin Farrell. Basically, soon we're going to see him. Well, personally, we may not see it because he's a personal person based on his birth chart, but he will have this new perspective, okay? You can see the Hangman has, you know, shows up in a lot of religious texts, okay? And this is very symbolic, but very spiritual energy. This is, you can see he's hanged upside down, right? But he has a halo around his head, okay? He has a smile on his face. He put himself there, all right? He put himself there because sometimes you have to look at things in a new perspective, and you have to go through these extreme ways to do it, all right? Because the ways of the past may not be working for you anymore, all right? That's why it's really good to just, you know, make these decisions moving forward and then have that moment to look at things in a new way, all right? Especially because one other thing I'm going to point out is that there is part of this decision that he has to make, or something that he's not facing. He's going to have to make it, he has to surrender it, okay? There's something he's got to surrender. He's got to make this sacrifice to move forward, as the Hanged Man does, okay? And so that is going to bring, that's going to make a world of difference for him, right? And so he's moving into a place where he is going to be seeing things in a very, very new way. And I love that for him. I'm very happy for him. And it really is going to affect, you know, those bigger things that he wants. And again, I'm getting a lot of family energy and relationship energy. So that's, and also actually, you know, with his rising Capricorn, Jupiter and Aries, going back into Aries, like at the end of this year, but until May, right? Until May 2023, that's in his fourth house, okay? Domestic sector. So it does relate, like I said earlier, to home and to relationships and to family, like parents and children. But let's go ahead and see what's going on with his staff. Like, this is, like, we are seeing a lot of change here, all right? We're seeing a lot of change for him. He's going to have to move forward. He's going to have to make a decision. He's going to have to get out of this headspace. And I truly believe he will, looking at his future. And now looking at his staff, it is clear as day now. It is clear as day. Let's go ahead and do it. Four of Swords. So, like I said, remember when I said earlier, he knows this? He knows it. Definitely knows it, okay? This is... The Four of Swords is all about stillness of mind, okay? Recovering, all right, from all of this, right? The stress, the burden, the burnout, the working too much. He's going to recognize that he needs to just have this moment of clarity, be in a better headspace, because there's a lot coming, okay? And it has to do with this new perspective. There's moving forward in this great new way, and he is so aware of this, all right? And so that's, again, affirmation. When I said, I know he knows, the energy that I'm getting is he knows he needs to do this. Now, look at this. He got the Six of Swords, all right, in his external factors area. Now, you can see these people leaving the turbulent waters into what I call the promised land, all right? Look how smooth the sea is from that point on. This is leaving all your troubles, all your challenges behind. Something's coming through, and it's going to help him move forward, okay? And so, if you see the theme of this spread, he is moving forward in a really big way. He's moving in, again, it's almost like rebirth energy, all right? There's going to be, in the next few weeks, just new perspective, new ideas, looking at the world in a new way, looking at his life in a new way, really analyzing at this point, because he's really good at that, what he's lacking. And I think that he knows what he's lacking, okay? It's that emotional part, the lack of cups here, all right? Now, he did get the Six of Pentacles, all right, in his external factors area. So why is this great? This is great because this is saying that he wants to share the wealth at this point, all right? Now, this is, you can, the card is all about generosity. It's all about gratitude. You can see the man here sharing the wealth, all right? This is harmony. This is, six is the heart of the tree of life, all right? This is what Colin wants, all right? He wants to share the wealth. And when I say wealth, I say that not only monetarily, all right, but sharing the wealth in terms of wisdom and knowledge, and even for his fans, like possibly showing them a side of him, new movie coming out, new show, things like that, sharing the wealth in that way. But that brings that balance. You see the scale in his hand. That is going to be very helpful for him, because that is what he's seeking, all right? That's what he's seeking, spreading the wealth, the love. Final outcome, all right? The Eight of Cups, sorry. The Eight of Cups. Now, this isn't his final outcome. As I said earlier, this entire spread, it's all about him going through this moment of just burden, stress, burnout, all these things that are just, really holding him back. And it's causing, and he's needing to make some sort of decision. He's needing to make something, even like spiritually and emotionally, right? Mentally, just something that he needs to just, it's almost like tar pit energy, get out of, think about it, and move forward. It's going to bring all that abundance. Start thinking about the world that you want. He has so many cards here indicating all of this is coming to an end. He's entering this new area of his life, and he's moving forward. And this is the final card, but final affirmation, moving forward. All right. You see, first of all, there's an eclipse happening here. All right. There's an eclipse happening here in the card. And again, this affects his 12th house and 5th house, with that eclipse coming up the eclipse on November 8th. All right. Which is very powerful, as I said, very emotional, but walking away from the cups. All right, so this is the only cups card he has drawn, and the man is walking away from it. But I don't want you to think of this him abandoning his emotions. This is actually very good, all right, because this is that awareness that something is, he's got to leave something behind, all right? He's got to make that decision to leave something behind, okay? Maybe very emotional for him. It may be hard for him, but he knows that there's something better out there for him. And he knows that these, whatever the cups were, they just were not serving him well, okay? And so that is exactly what he needs to do. And that is exactly what he's doing here. He got the Hanged Man, okay? He got the Six of Swords, moving away from all the challenges. The Four of Swords, the stillness of mind. And, oh my goodness, I pulled a clarifier. He got the Empress, final outcome. He's going to move away from everything that he's been going through, enduring, all those things that were just not serving him well, okay? Into such a better place. The Empress, I mean, this is passion. This is pleasure. This is, listen, this is abundance. The Empress, come on. This is amazing. This is amazing. And so there is, remember, with his moon in Cancer, there is that maternal side, like he takes care of others, right? I mean, talk about maternal here, right? This is really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. I mean, she is a protector, but she's also, Colin's also like protected, like fiercely, and there's deep love here. You can see the symbol of Venus in the stone-shaped heart, okay? And so Venus is all about abundance. It's all those things that we desire. It's love, money, everything. It is everything. The Empress is, there's just so much passion. And so this is his final outcome, all right? This is his final outcome. So there could be something like brand new for him. There could be something really great. There is, but at the end of the day, that fulfillment is coming after he's moving toward it in a huge way. Lastly, clarified the hermit. Okay, and so it's really like, you know, the hermit is someone who's made a lot of accomplishments and achievements, climbed the top of the mountain. Now he just wants to be alone, right? Because he wants to think about his future. Now, you can see here, he has the lantern, all right? Now, you can only see so far with lantern light, right? How do you see further than that, right? You go within, all right? You go within. That's where the light is. That's how you can start planning your future. See further than this lantern light. This is soul searching. This is major soul searching. So he's going to do it because he already got the Four of Swords, all right? Remember, stillness of mind, meditation, recovery, really just having that moment of, clearing the mind. He's good. He's good. I love that, okay? You can see here, worked really hard in a place when there's so much going on up here. There's so much going on up here, but he's also feeling like he's like, all right, this is a little too much for me now. But a lot of it is because there's some sort of something inside him that, like, there's this decision to move forward and something he has to surrender. It looks like he's going to do it and start building the world that he wants, moving forward into this place of abundance and opportunity. But also he will do that soul searching to know what he wants moving forward and having that wisdom and wealth that he's going to share with others. This was Colin Farrell's reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you want to, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, and leave comments. If you're not a subscriber, it really does help my channel grow. And if you are a subscriber, thank you for being here. And remember, leave some celebrities that you want me to read in the comment box. I'll add them to my list. I love doing these. These are always really fun. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next week.